So let's settle in. As you get comfortable where you are, allow your body just to get really heavy. If you're seated, allow your seat to just anchor down. If you're lying down, allow the body just to root. And as your eyes begin to gently close, feel the way that that space where you are is just holding you safe, holding you steady, helping you to feel grounded, held. And then start to notice your breath. It's not already slow and deep and rhythmic. Allow it to slow down. Let that breath bring calm to your heart, to your emotions after a busy day. Let it restore the balance within you. And then feel the way both things, the physicality of where you are, the life-giving force of your breath, how both things connect to the familiarity of the place where you are. Wherever you've shown up today for your meditation time, let it feel like your space, your time, your practice. And as we settle in, I want to just reflect on something that's been heavy on my heart the last several days. It was just a few days ago in our country's history that we had a day of remembrance on our calendar. December the 7th marked this anniversary of what went on at Pearl Harbor, what went on during World War II, what went on during a dark time in our country. When that day came across the calendar, I started to think, we have so many days of remembrance on our calendar that all have the same thing in common. They all signify moments in our history of division and separation, where the differences that we had with other people caused us pain and suffering. It caused us to have to make really difficult decisions. Doesn't matter if they were right or wrong, they were difficult. And those decisions were all based on the things that make us different. And that concept has just sat with me the last several days with a heaviness. And I thought, as this new year is just about to be around the corner for us, couldn't we begin to focus on the things that bind us together? Knowing that across the globe, there are others who are allowing their bodies to settle in and grow heavy in the spot where they are, to feel held and safe as they connect to their breath, as they close their eyes. There are others who don't speak my language, who don't have the same color of my skin, who don't have the same traditions and cultures, but they want the same thing. They want to show up for the predictability that their meditation practice gives to their life, to the transformative power that it has on their everyday being. Those same people across the globe want their kids to lay down their heads at night and be safe. They want to go to work tomorrow, the next day, and be able to earn a living to care for their families the way that we do. They want to be able to live and be free and enjoy the sunrise every morning and the sunset every night. I believe that there are more things that create unity among us than there are things that separate us. So maybe between us who show up now and those that show up across the globe for their practice, maybe with all of our efforts, we could begin to turn our focus to the oneness of humanity, to what makes us the same, to what makes us one. And so I want us to spend a few minutes together today just reflecting on that. Yes, it is important to have days on the calendar that we remember our history, to honor what others have done for us on our behalf, but also to learn what to do to go forward. And so I'd like this time we have together to understand the separateness and the division that caused some actions and decisions in the past, but then decide that we want something different. We want a world that sees the union of humanity, that sees the things that are the same about us and sees the beauty in that. And I have to believe that each time we individually show up on our cushion, on our seat, to wherever we are, when we do this thing that we call our meditation practice, I have to believe we are seeking that unity of humanity. We start by seeking the unity within us, trying to find some unity between our mind and our body and our spirit and our emotions. And then looking for that unity within our home, within the people that we care about and we love the most. And then we begin to seek it in the places where we go to work and we spend our time. And then I have to believe that eventually it will continue to carry into environments that we can't even imagine right now. And maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe in the lifetime of our children and our grandchildren, they will have dates on their calendar that mark the celebration of the things that make us one, instead of the historical events that marked the times when we were separate. We have history to remind us of things that have occurred and to teach us to do better going forward. And so maybe this year, this new year that is just very soon around the corner, could be the time that we start something different. When we go to work, or we stop at the coffee shop, or we buy our groceries from the supermarket, we could look at the face of the person in front of us and see humanity in their eyes and see the same desires that we have in our hearts, in their hearts. Wouldn't it cause us to act differently in how we interact with them, how we present ourselves, how we monitor our impatience, our expectations? I know it's not going to be a fast solution or a fast fix to the parts of the world that are broken, but I do think it could be a start. And so again, I want to honor what last week meant on our calendar. It was a time of struggle and really difficult decisions in our country's time in history. Decisions were made that most of us can't even fathom having to make. But I hope that we today are learning from those decisions, that we're looking out across humanity and we're wanting something different. And so I'd like for us just to sit. Oftentimes I will share a mantra in Sanskrit that has some meaning or some symbolism for us, but instead I want to just share 3 words that are part of a song that I listen to all the time. It's from a young man who used to sing most of his verses in Sanskrit, but he simplified it and put it in English. And his song says, for many, many minutes, again and again and again, we are one. We are one. And so I want to just say that just a few times to usher us into this time of quiet. And I'm not asking us to look far across the ocean into countries that we don't even know how to say the names of, perhaps, and see the connection there just yet. Let's start in our homes, with our extended families, with the people in our workplace, and see if just us beginning to believe we really are one, if that could change the environment right here for us. And then we'll send that message out a little further into the geography. But for now, let's start right here, right now. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. Let's just let those words hold space in the quiet. Don't worry about trying to think on them or reflect about them. Just let them hold space and see how it can begin to transform your heart. Just continue to breathe where you are, settling in a little more, feeling that space beneath you, holding you, grounding you, feeling the steadiness, the calming of your breath, feeling the familiarity, the security of where you've shown up at for these few minutes. And know that there are people across this globe who are feeling the same thing. They show up for meditation in a familiar, safe spot. They too turn to their breath, slow and steady and calming. And they too are seeking something different. Maybe they don't have all their answers either, but they continue to show up just as we do. Because we truly are one. We are one. There's a beautiful translation of the word namaste from Ram Dass. And he says, Namaste, the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And if the light is in you, and the light is in me, and I see that light in you, and you see that light in me, there really is just one us. And that is the essence when we say the word namaste that I want to hold in my heart. That if I see the light in you, as I say that I do, and you see the light in me, It's the same light because we truly are one. Namaste.